Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry to everybody involved. All right, so the first test will be over modules 17 and 18. Okay. And I just talked about production outpacing wages and how that is going to cause the economy to contract. Okay. And so what we get into next is the Great Depression. Okay. The stock market crash and the Great Depression. All right. And we're going to get some pretty good economics here as we move through this, as far as how the stock market works and functions. Okay. How do we get out of here? 35? Oh, yeah. We're going to do that. Okay. So, eraser. Okay. September is typically the worst month of the stock market. Okay. Then there's October. All right. September and October. Why? I don't know. Okay? I don't know why that is the worst one. Okay? But it is. I'm going to erase this because I need to write on the board. That's JP Morgan. You guys at home, I will put these up as soon as class is over on Canvas. If I can, because the internet sucks. All right, so we are in 1929. And I think the video gets into some of this, okay? In order to understand the stock market crash, there's a couple things you need to know, okay? First, there's Black Thursday, the 24th of October, and then there's Black Tuesday, which is October 29th. Okay? Now, it had been a poor month, so had September. Okay? And then prices on the 24th began to fall and panic set in. Okay? So in order to understand how panic sets in, I'll talk to you about the market and stocks. Okay? Now, do any of you know, like, do you own any stock? Okay. Mom, dad gave it to you, grandma, grandpa? Okay. Your money, you invested it, or?
My dad invested.
Okay.
I used to, there's like these apps, Stash and Robinhood, I used to be in a little bit.
Okay. Like day trading type stuff? Nice. Okay. So, here's the thing, guys. You have private companies and you have public companies, okay? Coke Industries, you've all heard of that, right? Coke Industry is the second largest privately owned company in the country, okay? Charles Koch owns it, okay? His brother that he's owned it with died, okay? So basically it's Charles Koch and his brother's family own it, okay? So all profits from that corporation can go directly to them. Now they don't do that, okay? Obviously they reinvest it in the company and that sort of thing, all right? Coke is always expanding, all right? So then you have what are called publicly owned businesses, okay? Like, let's just take, this is one we've talked about before, General Motors, okay? And they were around during this time. They're still around. Okay. Now, General Motors is a publicly traded stock. So is Ford Motor Company. So even though Ford still has Henry Ford's name on it, nobody in his family runs it. It's run by a board of directors. The people that own the company are you and I. People that buy stocks. Okay. I'm allowed to own shares of stock. And I probably do have some Ford shares somewhere in my portfolio. Okay. I don't know how many I have. I have no idea. Okay. I'll explain why I don't in a minute. So these companies, you can buy a piece of the company. Okay. So let's say Ford stock is selling for $50 a share right now. So one share Okay, it's a share of stock, $50. So say I have $1,000. How many shares of Ford stock can I buy? I have $1,000. 20, 20. Okay, so I own 20 shares, and I invested $1,000. Okay. Now, if the value of Ford stock goes up to $60, okay, and I have 20 shares, how much did I make? 10 times 20, right? So now my investment is worth $1,200. I made 200, right? Plus 2. Yes? Okay. Now, let's say Ford just came out with the new Mustang. All right? And they've been mass producing the Mustang. And then all of a sudden, we started hearing news stories about how Ford Mustangs are just catching on fire while they're idling at stoplights or, stop signs, sitting in the garage, idling. They start, boom. Okay, I got an even better idea. Let's talk about the Boeing 737 MAX. You guys know about the Boeing 737 MAX? It had some serious issues, yes, and it's been grounded for more than a year now. And so production of the 737 MAX has been halted, which affects Wichita and Spirit, right? And all the parts suppliers for Boeing and Boeing Corporation. So let's switch this to Boeing. Okay, we're talking about Boeing selling for $50. It's going up to $60 because everybody's, Singapore Air's buying the 737 MAX, China Air's buying the 737 MAX, and then you get these crashes. What happens to the value of the stock? Well, let's find out. I bought it for $50. You guys hear about this, right? We're going to stop production. Airlines are going to stop using this plane. I'm trying to offload my $50 stock to you. Hey, will you guys buy it? I want to sell my Boeing stock for $50. Anybody that for me? Please? How about $45? Will you buy it at $45? How about 40? Will anybody give me 40? How about 30? You want to buy it? No. Anybody? 30? 25? Come on, that's half price. You don't want it? I mean, Boeing's going to come back, right? And you bought the stock at 25. That's a pretty good deal, right? 20? Oh, we got to buy it. $20. Yeah, thank you. Okay, it drops 30 to $20 a share. Okay, you got a great deal, by the way. Okay, now you own 20 shares. You've lost $600. Holy crap! Hey, over here. Over here. You've lost 600 of your initial investment of 1,000. This is called putting all your eggs in one basket. You don't buy just one stock, okay? Because you don't know what's going to happen. Now, there's something out there that you can buy. Hang on, before I go there. Do you understand how panic sets in? Listen, stock market was way overpriced. People were not looking at the value of the companies. They were looking at the price of the stock. Okay, and people like trying to get rich quick. Okay, economic indicators. Right now, we are in the middle of a pandemic. Yes, we're seeing flare-ups again in Europe. I don't know, it was about 40 states. You're seeing increases in cases. Okay, what happens if Joe Biden gets reelected or gets elected and says things are bad enough, we need to shut everything down again? What happens to the economy? The only reason why the economy's been, the stock market is held up is because the government has printed more than $3 trillion to give to businesses and individuals to prop them up during this pandemic, during the shutdown, the lockdown. It's the only thing keeping us afloat is our government printing money. Now, some businesses, people that make those, okay, they're doing good. Right? People these face shields, they're doing pretty good. In restaurants, but they're not having to pay as many employees. Some, like Texas Roadhouse is always busy. Pandemic or no pandemic. Curbside business, man, right? Did you guys do like order out during the lockdown? Or were you afraid to leave the house? So some businesses are doing well, some are not. The government's propping everything up. Okay. So you've got to look at the conditions of the market. You have to look at the conditions of the economy, the conditions of each individual business before you invest in them. There's one way to protect yourself somewhat where you can buy a whole bunch of stocks in one fund. What do they call that?
Like government, right?
No. Mutual fund. This is what most people invest in, okay? So they're not putting all their eggs in one basket like Boeing, okay? Now, my mutual fund, there's a lot of different kinds of these, okay? But let's just call this a blue chip mutual fund. Blue chip meaning big businesses, okay? Big companies, big corporations. So say I put $2,000, which is generally what you're going to need to buy a mutual fund, $2,000 to $2,500, okay? And so I'm going to put, this mutual fund has 6% Coca-Cola, 6% Walmart, 6% Amazon, 5% General Motors, 5% McDonald's, 4% in Pfizer, which is a pharmaceutical company. Johnson & Johnson, another pharmaceutical company, 4%. Bayer, another pharmaceutical company, 3%. Okay, I'm in a bunch of different companies, right? All right, so I got $2,000. So if Johnson & Johnson comes up with the first vaccine, which they're in the final testing stages of the vaccine. And what I heard on the radio this morning, it will only take one shot. Sometimes vaccines, you have to do multiple shots. This would be a one-shot vaccine for COVID. Let's say they do this. Now, the government, I believe, has said we're going to give everybody the shots for free, which means who's paying for it? Okay, the government's going to pay for it, but we're going to pay for it. Okay, Johnson & Johnson will make a crap ton of money. But let's say people decide that General Motors cars suck, and so they have a bad year, but Johnson & Johnson has a good year. They balance each other out. Okay. Generally, mutual funds will tend to follow the trend of the market as a whole because that's called diversification. You're diversified. It's a portfolio. Okay. So not you only own one mutual fund, you own several mutual funds that are very diversified throughout the market. Does that make sense? Some may focus on technology companies. Some may focus on things like precious metals, gold and silver mining companies. Some may focus on pharmaceutical companies. Okay? So if one pharmaceutical comes up with it first, they're gonna win, the others are gonna lose. Okay? If one of these companies comes up with a cure for cancer, guess what? You're gonna benefit from that. Okay? That's putting your money to work for you. Now, if the whole economy goes south, these companies go south with it. Okay, so as early as 1927, 28, guys, there were some economic indicators showing contraction of our economy, slowing down of our economy, but the market kept going up, which means there's going to have to be a correction. We've seen a correction this week in the market. If you've been paying attention, it's had a bad week. It is, after all, September. Okay. Now, am I going to start yanking my money out of the market right now? Hell no. I'm buying right now. While the market's down, you buy. And it's got more room to come up. You pull your money out, and then it goes up that day. Oh, crap, I forgot to put my money back in, and you miss out. I'm not ready to retire yet. So I'm keeping my money in for the long haul. Okay? Have there been times where I said, oh crap, I really think I should cash out some of my stocks? Yes. Many times. Like on November 3rd, I may want to have an inkling to do that. Okay? But I probably won't. You look at Democrats and Republicans throughout the whole stock market from 1934 to 2015, and you average the amount the stock market went up and down between Democrat and Republican presidential administrations, it's pretty much about even. Okay? I had this talk with a friend the other day about where's the market going to do better, under Trump or Biden? Okay? I don't know. Okay, now it did very well under Trump the first 3 years. Very well. And it's actually done well during the pandemic. Now it had a 1,000-point drop one day, and the next day it went up 800. Okay. Had a big drop, like 1,500 points. Scare the crap out of everybody. Next day it went up 600. So if you pulled all your money out, you're missing that 600. Okay? So you've got to diversify and be patient. Most of this money you're putting into mutual funds. Your 401ks, you guys familiar with 401ks? Okay? I got 5 minutes. I'm going to talk to you guys about investing real quick. When you get out of college, now you've already done a little bit with your money, okay? But when you start planning, when you have enough income to where you have money left over at the end of the month, you can pay your rent, your house payment, whatever you're doing, okay? You've got that first good job out of college, all right? You're 22 years old, 23 years old, all right? You got any engineers in here? Ain't gonna be an engineer, okay? You're gonna come out of school making more than I make after 25 years in the profession, okay? So, I mean, if you're an engineer, you're gonna come out making anywhere from $60,000 to $80,000. Unless you waste all that on a big house, but you'll have some to invest. Okay. What else? What do we got? What are we gonna be? What are you gonna be when you grow up? Athletic trainer. Okay. Doesn't pay great unless you're working for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$100K.
Yes. Nice. You're capable. What do you want to be? Don't know yet. Don't know yet. Engineer.
I don't know.
Okay. That's, you're going to probably need to get a doctorate or at least a master's, right? Teaching? Like, yeah.
Military.
Military? With the end, like career? You'll find yourself there. Yeah.
Art.
What?
Art.
Okay. master's, maybe a doctorate, depending on what you know what I mean? You guys have thought about this, okay? You gotta think about it. Some of you guys will change your mind, okay? I'll tell you this. Raise your hand if you're good at math. Okay, you good at science? Okay. Listen. We do not graduate enough engineers from this country. We import engineers every year. It's a 4-year degree in most cases, and you'll come out making more money than I do. If you're good at math and science, it's in your reach. Okay? I'm just saying. Lifestyle. Now, if some of you plan on getting married, maybe you can find a sugar daddy or a sugar mama. A teacher, okay? Find a sugar mama or a sugar daddy, okay? So, you want to be comfortable, all right? You want to be able to have extra money left over so that you can prepare for retirement. The first thing you want to buy, what's called a Roth IRA. An IRA is an individual retirement account, okay? Traditional IRAs, you have to pay taxes. Roth IRAs, you can invest, I believe, per individual, $5,600 a year. This will go into mutual funds. And when you get it out at 62 or 65 years old, whenever you get it out, you will not pay any taxes on it. If I just bought a mutual fund on my own and I sell that stock for profit, I pay a capital gains tax, which could be as high as 27%. No taxes on this. So the first, if you're taking $100 a month out of your check to invest for retirement in an individual retirement account, you buy a Roth. Now, if you have an investor, investment advisor, they will tell you this. Okay. But this is where your smart money goes. No taxes, dude. Okay. This could grow for you for 40 years. You get it out. You don't pay anything. You just get it out. Okay. You guys know about 401ks? If the company you work for offers a 401k, you're an idiot not to take it because they're going to match what you put in it. Okay. So I have a 401k here at Bishop Carroll. Okay. So I put in 6% of my check goes into 401k, which goes into mutual funds. Okay. And then Bishop Carroll Diocese matches it, gives me 5% of my paycheck. Okay. So 11. This is free money, by the way, right? This is free. This is in addition to what you make. If you don't take I know your check's going to be smaller. Every week or 2 weeks, it's going to be smaller, but you're getting free money. Okay. And it's going into the market. Now, you can't touch that money, your 401k money, till 62. Okay. Now you can, but you pay a big penalty to get that money out. Okay. You don't want to borrow against your 401k. It's just not smart. Okay. So hopefully that first job, good job you get has one of these. Even better if it had a pension. But most companies don't have pensions anymore. Okay. So bell's about to ring. Panic sets in. Okay. You can see everybody's trying to sell. Like I was trying to offload that Boeing. Everybody's trying to sell. Nobody's buying. I'll tell you what happens in the next episode. Okay. So I hope you understood that. Thanks for hanging around, guys.